Natural gas can be transported on land and under the water by pipeline, or on water via ship. There are basically three types of pipelines: the gathering, mainline and the distribution systems. LNG is most commonly transported with vessels, which are containing fixed LNG tanks for coast-to-coast transportation. In the port of departure, the natural gas is liquefied and pumped into LNG carrier. Because the LNG tanks cannot be made completely isolated, part of liquid natural gas vaporizes. This phenomenon is called boil-off. On older vessels, boil-off gas is used in turbine to powering the ship, and if more gas is needed, the addition gas must be vaporized from the cargo. The newest vessels have a boil-off gas reliquefaction system, so boil-off gas can be liquefied back into the LNG tank. In port of arrivals, the LNG is pumped into the onshore terminal, where it can be vaporized and transported to the customers by the pipeline. Positive environmental impact of the transfer of natural gas. When natural gas can be transferred to the customers, they can use the cleanest fossil fuel in the world. By using natural gas for industrial applications, transporting and housing, it can be reduced significantly of the generation of fine particles and harmful compounds. Negative environmental impact of the transfer of natural gas. Because methane is 23 times more powerful greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide, leakages in pipelines and LNG boil-off gases causes serious issues to the ozone layer. Old mainline pipes are made of cast iron, which are aging, and probability for pipeline damages increases all the time. American gas suppliers have reported half to 10% losses in pipelines. But clear facts and figures are not available. When there is need to build shore-to-shore underwater mainline, construction could cause release of the toxins formed seabed. In LNG transporting, there is also environmental problems. A part of boil-off gases may release to atmosphere, and energy losses in liquidation process is 10% of total amount of energy of the gas. Because natural gas has to be cooled down to under -160 degrees Celsius. It has been said that natural gas is the cleanest fossil fuel on the planet, but the resulting leakage emissions of the transfer makes its environmental advantages to disappear when it is compared to another fossil fuels.
My name is Ryhmä and I tell a little bit power industry. Electricity generation and the heat production is one of the primary uses for natural gas. Gas turbines and power plants are two most common methods. In a boiler power plant, steam produced by heating water. Thanks to good automation, efficiency is good level, and the production's emissions are lower than before. Natural gas plants are flexibility and efficiency, so example start time is short. Using natural gas in power and energy industry, emissions are lower than other fossil fuel. Using the natural gas is quite easy to make a needed maintenance. The primary point is checking. Gas power plant maintenance takes a really short time, which is important in modern production industry. No pollutants, sludge, ashes and grass. Converting power plant to natural gas is quite easy and cheap investment. Installed burns, combustion air is renewed, and the grate is placed in the protective material if it is converting case, for example coal boiler. However, the combustion of natural gas produces carbon dioxide, almost half of what coal combustion. Natural gas consists almost entirely of methane. a major greenhouse gas. If the gas while using leaking and gas escapes into atmosphere, methane has to trap heat almost 21 times more than carbon dioxide. When gas is used, there are always risks of, for example, explosion. But in real life, natural gas is quite safe to use.
Natural gas emissions in traffic. Worldwide there were 22.7 million vehicles running with natural gas in 2015, led by China with 4.44 million vehicles. Natural gas in vehicles uses compressed natural gas, CNG, or liquefied natural gas, LNG, as a cleaner alternative to other fossil fuels. Natural gas has the highest energy-carbon ratio of any fossil fuel, and so it produces less carbon dioxide per unit of energy. When combusted natural gas only release small amount of flue gas, because it composed over 90% of methane and it burns clean. If combustion is clean, it will only generate water and carbon dioxide. It doesn't produce ash particles like oils do. The most important emission is CO2 emissions. CO2 is a greenhouse gas which causes atmosphere heating. Water vapor is also a greenhouse gas, but there is no emission standard for that. There are always some harmful emissions when the combustion isn't perfect. Natural gas has the least carbon dioxide emissions compared to other fuels. It has the best value in terms of other fuels. Carbon dioxide emissions are 25% lower than with heavy fuel oil. NOx emissions are 90% lower. There are almost no SOx emissions with sulfur-free natural gas. Natural gas-fueled vehicles are also quieter. Emissions are reduced considerably with CNG usage. CNG is better for environment than diesel. In vehicle inspection, flue gas analyzer is used to measure CO, CO2, HC, O2 emissions. Other emissions like NOx, SOx, volatile organic compounds and particulate matter are analyzed in laboratory. Small portable laboratories like PEMS can be used for this as well. In cars, catalytic converter is used to reduce harmful emissions in combustion of biofuels, dual fuel. In LNG ships there is no need for scrubbers to reduce sulfur oxides. On land vehicles natural gas is taxed by either CO2 emissions, (g/km), told by manufacturer, or by car's weight, cents per 100 kilograms a day. On sea, LNG is bought abroad, so there is no tax, only fuel price. The European Union has its own set of emission standards that all new vehicles must meet. In the moment standards are set to only road vehicles. No standards apply to ships or airplanes. For each vehicle, different standard is in use. In the future CNG and LNG usage in traffic will increase. Biofuel cars will become more common. Natural gas causes less harmful and toxic emissions than traditional fuel and is becoming easier to attain. In the future, there will be more filling stations for land vehicles.